I am laughing because basically I tried doing a vlog a few weeks ago and I was like, okay, cool, I'll upload it. And then that day, just everything went downhill. It was still tax season. It was the middle of tax season, right towards the end. So the last few weeks was literally me working 7 days a week. And the only other thing I was really doing was working out. I deleted all my social media and I just focused on working out, and sleeping. Now, a few other things in there that have happened since then. First and foremost, this is the day that I was filming my vlog. I got my first sample order of clothes in. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. When I say they ignored every single thing in the tech pack, which is what you send the manufacturer for like what you want the clothing thing to be, like all the details, the measurements, the fabric, blah blah blah. I mean, they ignored 80% of the stuff in there. It was horrible. They did not do the measurements correctly. Okay, it's time. It is officially time. Yeah, no, I don't like it. There's something about it that's just off, I can tell.
Are you excited? I thought you were just telling me like random clothes came and you were happy. Do they have your logo on it?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I just think it looks cheap as fuck. Not even, I mean, the logo is okay, but like just the material, like I know it's not what it should be. Well, the good news is I also ordered from a different manufacturer, so maybe they didn't fuck it up as bad.
Is that the logo you're 100% set on?
Yeah, why do you not like it? I need you to be honest.
It kind of looks like, almost like lingerie brand. Or
Maybe
like,
I
it
should
looks like,
change it.
I don't know. It just doesn't look like a workout. Like maybe
I should just do an E and an S and not make it...
that, I think, is like a lot more simple. I think you could, I don't know. That's just, after seeing it on a clothing, actually on clothes, like looking on a screen.
I fucking hate it.
Well, I mean, this is the process.
It is the... No, I'm really not that upset. It's just like the manufacturer sucks ass. Well, I might as well try it on. So, yeah. That's update number 1. I do have another sample order coming in from a different manufacturer. We'll see how that's going. I'm also talking with some other people about manufacturing through them. They're a lot more expensive, but I do think they're a lot more trustworthy. So if I do go with them, honestly, what that means for me is it's just gonna push a lot of things back in terms of me being able to drop clothes because it's going to cost more. And the reason it's going to cost more is their bulk order size is, for anyone who really cares about this, their bulk order is bigger than the other manufacturers I was dealing with. So I have to order more clothes, which isn't the biggest deal in the world. It's just I'm gonna need more money for it. And I have to balance my finances with a lot of things because I'm also moving out in a couple months. So I need to be able to cover all my bills. So there's that. And then I never said the name of the clothing brand on here, and I'm still not going to, but I am now changing the name of the clothing brand again. I think I've changed the name like 5 times, and the reason I kept changing the name was trademark issues. This time I'm changing the name, and it was official, like I got the trademark finalized, which is really frustrating because I now have to file another trademark, but the new name I picked I'm actually super excited about, and it was one of those things where the first name I picked and I filed the trademark for, I just felt like I needed to pick a name, and so I was like, okay, I'll just go with that, like, it's available. And I was struggling so hard to pick a name because it felt like every name I wanted had trademark issues. And then this one, it literally just came to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this name. And I was like, there's probably going to be a trademark issue, and I went and I did my research. no trademark issues. So I went the day after April 15th, our deadline, the tax deadline, I woke up and I filed the trademark. So I'm super pumped about that. I love the name so much more now. And there's a spider on my ceiling. Okay, that's cool. There's 2 spiders on my ceiling. But yeah, I have just a way better vision of where the clothing brand is gonna go, and I'm so okay with it taking a long time because I want it to be good and I want the clothes to be good. Like, I want everything to be good. So that's kind of like my exciting life update, where I don't want to say I was down bad for a few weeks, but I was just like, I needed a break from people and just a lot of things, because I felt like I was like listening to so many people's opinions, and I love getting feedback. I love people's opinions, but just like everything felt so loud, where I was like, okay, what do you want? What's gonna work for you? This is your thing. This is nobody else's, so do what's gonna work for you. So that's all the stuff with the clothing brand, the business, and my job. Now, the other update. Running. I have not really been running. I'm not injured, but I have a pretty bad nagging injury, and I mean bad in the sense of it's not going away and it's getting worse with the more that I run. I just got to a point where I was like, you know what, this isn't getting better. I could tell that if I keep running on it without doing anything, it's something else is gonna go even more wrong. And I think I mentioned this in my last YouTube video where I was having some like hip pain, but pretty bad hip pain, and it got to the point where it was going down my leg and messing with my knee. So currently doing PT for that. I'll go into more detail about that at a different point. So running right now, it's honestly, I'm only running like once a week. I'll probably bump it up to twice a week because PT has been helping in the past couple weeks I've been going. So yeah, we're just gonna take it nice and easy and slow, which honestly I'm also very okay with that, because I missed focusing on like lifting and just like all these other types of training things that I like to do. Like, I love jump roping, I love doing like circuit workouts, and I love like traditional strength training as well, and also just workouts where like I'm doing movements where it like makes me feel athletic, where I'm moving laterally or I'm doing rotational movements or explosive movements. So I'm just trying to focus on like feeling like an athlete again, in the sense of just like being able to move and like focusing on flexibility, mobility. That's what I love about fitness, is there's all these areas that you could focus on. I was just like, okay, it's a time in my life where running isn't my focus. It's not my thing right now that I'm gonna get really good at. I'm just gonna get good at all these other things that aren't gonna hurt me and harm my body. So that's that. The last vlog I filmed was on a Wednesday. I did get a workout that day, and I do want to throw that in the video because I think it's so fun watching other people's workouts. So I'm just gonna throw that in right now. everything. Now, today, tax season is over. I'm just focusing on a lot of me things. I'm focusing on getting things together for my apartment, which I'm so excited. I spent an hour and a half yesterday looking at hand towels for my bathroom. Today, I am going to see my family friend and her kids. We're just gonna spend the day together running around with her children, and they're gonna exhaust us, and I can't wait. I just got off the elliptical now. Before that, I woke up super early this morning. It's Saturday. I woke up at 5:40. I was just kind of ready to get rocking and rolling, so I was working on stuff for my brand. I was working on like the fonts I want for the word mark, working on like my color schemes, so just a lot of branding stuff because I'm basically redoing everything. So that was my morning. So I'm gonna shower, get ready because I'm sweating gross, and yeah, that is that. Let's get the day going. I need to get rid of these spiders. Okay, let's go. So really quick, thought I'd show you my lunch. I was starving and I just needed to make something to eat. We got arugula underneath. We have some canned tuna. We have sweet potatoes. We have broccoli. And then I did some Italian dressing on there, some nutritional yeast, and then hot honey on top, and then I don't know, some seasoning from Trader Joe's.
I don't think she had a HSA. They taxed her.
What happened? Because you sent me 2 pages of her 1040. Like, I don't have Schedule 2.
I still owe you a W-2. I gotta log into her Paylocity.
Not even charging. They didn't charge her additional tax.
If it all looks good, then there's nothing to talk about or amend.
All right. I love you.
I love you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I'm leaving my family friends now. It is 4 o'clock. I think... Do I go to the store now? I think... Yeah, I need to go to the store because I have no food and I'm already hungry again. So we're gonna do that. And then I'm gonna go for a walk outside. Hopefully it's not gonna rain. I'm gonna stop talking and procrastinating and go to the store. I don't want to go to the store because I don't want to sit in the car anymore, but we're just gonna do it. Okay, bye. Let's go. Back from the store. I'm gonna go for a walk now. It's a little chilly outside, but it's so nice out. So I'm gonna walk, and then I'm basically just gonna work on stuff for the clothing brand for the rest of the night. I'm just gonna hang out, have a nice chill Saturday night, which is fine by me. So yeah, I'm gonna go on this walk, and I will see you guys in a little bit. Finished working, and then I kind of just chilled with my brother and we watched a movie for, I honestly sat there for probably 20 minutes. We sat there with Clyde because he was a little moody, to say the least. I just showered, I threw a face mask on, and I tidied up the house and my room. Now I'm going to be sitting here I'm throwing on a movie and eating my Ninja Creami for dessert. I got done what I needed to get done. That's kind of gonna be it for most of my Saturday. Also, really quick, peep the shirt. If you don't know this, then you have issues. I just wanted to talk about this because that face mask literally just revived my face. The best face mask ever. I get it from Sephora. I don't really know what brand it is. I will try to pop it up when I edit the video. Every time I do this face mask, my face just feels so much better because it was so like red and inflamed before. And yeah, that was just, I needed that. So if anyone's in need of a good face mask, that's the one. And I like it because I don't really have bad acne, but my face gets like super red and just inflamed. That face mask always helps so much. And it's lasted me a really long time. I think I've had it for, I don't even know how long. I've had it for a while. It goes a long way. I don't think it's super expensive on Sephora. Just wanted to throw that in there. Okay, I'm gonna go make my Creami now. Okay, here she is. I am going to eat this, watch my movie, and call it a night. We'll see if I'm vlogging on Sunday. If I do, then you'll get 2 days in one vlog. Good for you. If not, this is just gonna be a Saturday vlog. I think that will do just fine. If this is the end of the vlog, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. If this is not the end of the vlog, I will see you tomorrow. So, good night. So this morning I was kind of just working a little bit on stuff for the clothing brand and was apartment shopping. Then I worked out. This is my typical Sunday routine where I'll just hop on the elliptical for a little bit and then I do a 10-minute core workout. Just like my favorite little Sunday thing that I always do, and it doesn't feel too hard and it doesn't feel super easy. So it's just always nice to start my Sunday that way. Then I was feeling a little down. I don't really know why. I was just feeling a little like I literally don't feel like doing anything right now. I'm so unmotivated. I feel stressed out just about a lot of things, a lot of which are also out of my control. And I think I've just kind of been doing a lot of the same things over and over again. So I was just like, you know what, let's do something different today. Let's switch it up because now that tax season is over, I have more flexibility with my days. So I was like, you know what, let's put some makeup on. Let's go to Starbucks. Let's go do some work there. And then you can go to the gym and stretch and do some mobility and sauna because that always makes me feel better and it's just a really nice way for me to decompress. So that's the plan. I might stop at Target to grab some things after that. And then I'll be back home. Yeah, and then I'm gonna cook some food, meal prep for the week. So I'll show you some of that. So that's kind of what's on the docket for right now. I'm gonna get my stuff together and I'm gonna head to Starbucks and just get some more work done for a few more hours and go to the gym. So I will see you guys when I am back home. Okay, I am back. I still feel horrible, mentally and physically. I think what it is we call it the post-busy season blues. Basically, it's just like you had 3 months, 4 months of pure adrenaline of working the tax season, and then April 15th hits, and then you have like nothing. So I think that's what it is. It's probably why I'm feeling super anxious, is like I'm so used to just like doing something all the time from the moment I wake up to when I go to bed. Now it's just like barely getting any emails, barely getting any phone calls, like barely anything. I feel like I'm recalibrating right now. So I genuinely do think that's kind of just really what it is. I was at Starbucks. I did not go to the gym. My stomach was kind of bugging me, so I did go for a walk outside. And then I did go to Target. And I tried all the tricks in the book, and I just tired and lethargic, and I'm like mentally I'm just like bleh. Whatever, it is what it is. I'm gonna meal prep. When I say meal prep, I literally cook 2 things for the week and that's it. People ask me all the time how I'm so consistent with like meals and stuff. This is literally how I keep it extremely stupid simple. I cook a protein and then I prep a carb, which is ground turkey and sweet potatoes. For vegetables, sometimes I'll roast them in the oven and I'll have that throughout the week, but I'm not a big fan of having leftover veggies. They get kind of gross. Honestly, what I've been doing is just keeping a ton of frozen broccoli in my freezer, and I'll come home, I'll throw some soy sauce on it and I microwave it for like 5 to 7 minutes because our microwave sucks. And then I'll just make a bowl like the one I showed you yesterday, where it's arugula, Italian dressing, avocado, and I either do canned tuna or the ground turkey that I had prepped in there. I throw some nuts on there, sweet potatoes, hummus. I drizzle hot honey on it. And that's like my go-to bowl that I have pretty much every single day, either for lunch or for dinner. And then I have my protein pudding, which I showed in one of my last videos, for either lunch or dinner. Like that's tax season. When it's not tax season, I do have way more diverse meals and I'm cooking more stuff. But right now, since it just ended, I'm still just like tired and like meh, not in the mood to do anything fancy. This is what I'm doing. I will show you that, and then I'll also show you how I'm gonna prep my creamies, because I'm gonna do that as well. Okay, let's go.
And I know, I'm sure everybody's tired of hearing me say this, I've said it so many times in the podcast, but I think another reason why this is so difficult, Sal, is you alluded to that, you know, you're super motivated to make this change.
Okay, we got the ground turkey, and then we have the sweet potatoes. Okay, I'm gonna show you how I make my Ninja Creamy. What you really need for this, I would say, is whatever milk you like. I do almond milk. And then I love the PE Science Select Whey Protein. I always use the frosted sugar cookie flavor. No matter what type of flavor I'm making with the creamy. I usually spice up the flavor of it with whatever extract I'm gonna use. So this one, I'm gonna do maple extract, and I also will mix it up with the sugar-free Jello pudding mix that I use. So this one's butterscotch, which goes really well with the maple extract. I also throw some stevia in there, and then I sprinkle in some salt. Another favorite that I have is the cake batter extract, and then I'll do like the cheesecake flavoring of this. That's just like to give you an idea of how I mix up the flavors. Literally all I do is throw my almond milk in here, and then I would say I do like 3/4 of a scoop of protein. It's kind of like half, but whatever, I don't really care. I just sprinkle in stevia, taste, maple extract, just like so, and then the sugar-free pudding mix, and some salt. That's literally it. Sometimes I'll put food coloring in mine just to make it more fun. Literally no rhyme or reason to it. This one I don't really feel like adding food coloring, so I'm not going to. and then I literally just shake it. It doesn't get mixed up 100%. I've found that it really doesn't matter because when I actually make it in the Ninja Creami, it mixes just fine. I used to use like my handheld frother that I use for my coffee, and it did a number on it, and it wasted the battery way too quick, so I just started doing this. That's that. I'm gonna throw this in the freezer, and my sweet potatoes are almost done, so I'm almost done cooking everything. So while the sweet potatoes wrapped up, I just got in the steam, showered. So if my face looks red, that's why. But something I did want to talk about is, and I know I did already touch on this, but how I structure my meals throughout the week and why this actually works for me. Because I think if someone saw this and they were like, that's your meal prep for the week, like what do you actually eat? Like that makes no sense. So like I said before, this is usually something I have for either lunch or dinner. It kind of depends on my day. And then usually like I have my protein pudding for lunch, which again, if you don't know that recipe, it's in my prior video. So if you're like, what the hell is she saying? You gotta go look back. And I like to have that for lunch usually because that for me digests really easily. It's easy protein and easy calories, and then I could go to the gym after work. And then this works for dinner because I just throw everything into a bowl. I don't really have to cook anything. It takes me less than 10 minutes every single night, and I genuinely never get sick of it. Like I've been having a variation of this since I was probably 16, so almost 10 years. And I have it almost every single day. The protein pudding and this meal right here, I just know I'm never gonna get sick of it. If I do, then that really sucks. So that's like a really big tip, is just have foods that you genuinely enjoy and that you could eat on a consistent and regular basis. Now, the other thing I will say is if I had the luxury to come home and cook every single night and I had the time to do that, I would have way more variety in my diet and meals. I'm very picky when it comes to leftovers, so I will not eat leftover salmon. I won't eat leftover red meat because seeing the fat solidify when it's like cold grosses me out more than anything. The only leftover things I'll really eat for meat is like white meat, so like that's why I'm always eating ground turkey. When I do have the time and ability to, then I will gladly go pick up salmon or a steak or something else and I will cook that. It just, usually those things gross me out when it's left over. So that's why I'm always doing this all the time pretty much. I do like to keep frozen rice in the freezer, and I can microwave it within like 3 minutes. So that's another very helpful hack, is just having frozen things that you can throw in the microwave. Like I said before, the vegetables is also huge. Hold on, Clyde. Please don't start barking at me. So the other thing I will also say is, because I'm so consistent with my meals, I don't have to track my calories or my macros as much because I'm eating the same things pretty much every single day. Now, I don't want like people to think that I literally eat the same thing every single day. I don't, but I would say like 80% of my meals are kind of the same. So I'm eating consistently enough where like I don't really need to track my macros. And there was a period of time where I did track every single thing every single day. And I think I did that probably for like 2 years straight. And that was when I was younger. I was like 16 years old. Do I think that if you're 16 years old, you should be tracking your calories that diligently? Probably not. I tend to be a very extreme person, so I think that's why I did that. But with that being said, it was super eye-opening for me in terms of just like knowing what actually 30 grams of protein looks like in a meal. Because if your goal really is to build muscle and lose fat, which for a lot of people it is, or if it's to optimize your performance really in anything, like you need to be eating high protein. And by high protein, I mean you need to be eating whatever your body weight is in grams of protein. So if you weigh 130 pounds, you need to be eating 130 grams of protein. Is that actually how much you really need to be eating? Technically, no, but it's a good target to have. just because if you do undereat a little bit, it's actually not a big deal. So that's why you'll hear a vast majority of people in the fitness area just say that should be your goal. And if that is your goal and you do try to do that and you track your calories and you're eating whole natural foods, you're going to find it is actually incredibly hard to hit that. You're probably gonna feel really full all the time. And so when I was tracking my calories and my macros, I found that I had to be super intentional with getting my protein in. So diet is not something that's a one size fits all thing where what works for one person is not going to work for you. And also your life is constantly changing, so what you could do in one period of your life is maybe not something that you could do in another. So to be a little less vague with all that, what I really mean is maybe there's a period in your life right now where like tracking calories very diligently is something that you can do and you have the flexibility and ability to do, and it's no problem. Or on the flip side, maybe that's not you. I remember when I went to college, there was absolutely no way I was going to be tracking my calories. It was just, you're getting food at a, whatever it was, the hall, the food hall, whatever they're called. You know what I'm talking about. Like, I couldn't track calories, and I knew that, and the way I circumvented that was just like, okay, I'm gonna eat pretty consistently, like I'm gonna have my consistent meals, and if I see changes in a favorable way in terms of what my goals are right now, then I'll keep eating that way. If not, then I'll adjust. So that was what I did in college, and that was how I got around like not tracking calories. Now again, I had that background of tracking calories and macros for a couple years, where going into college, I had a really good idea of like what 30 grams of protein actually looked like, or 40 grams, or whatever it was I wanted to eat. So I do think that tracking calories and macros is very, very useful, but there's always a time and a place for it. And I don't think it's something that someone should feel the need to do for the rest of their life. And the way I integrate it now in my life is I track every so often just to make sure that I'm not off on something. Or maybe if I'm like implementing a new type of meal, or I'm just like, oh, I'm curious to see like what the macros are on this. Or if I do see changes in my body that I really, really like or really, really don't like. Because if I'm seeing changes in my body that I like, where I'm like, wow, I'm feeling really good, I'm feeling really energized, wow, I like built a lot of strength and muscle, like I love this, I want to know what I'm doing that's right. So I do want to have that on record. Versus if I'm seeing disfavorable changes in terms of like, I'm really weak right now, I feel like crap, I'm so fatigued, I feel like I'm just like a little fluffier, or maybe I like gained some weight. Okay, like let's see where our calories and macros are and let's adjust from there. And 9 times out of 10, what I find is it's not necessarily the calories that are the biggest issue. It's actually my protein super low. Because I think that, especially for females, we tend to think, okay, yep, I need to cut my calories. Like that's not necessarily the case. What you really need to focus on is just fueling your body and getting back on track to optimize your performance and building muscle again. 9 times out of 10, 9.9999 times out of 10. That's really what needs to happen. So yeah, that is my very long-winded spiel about diet, food, tracking calories and macros, and just my whole approach to it. Because I don't want anyone to think that in order to be healthy that they need to have this extreme approach. What should be at the back of your mind all the time when it comes to being healthy is sustainability. Because if you are living a life where you feel like you are just on hard mode all the time, that inherently is not healthy. You cannot hate yourself into a healthier body. So make sure whatever it is you're doing and whatever dietary choices you are making, it's to take care of yourself. And it's to make yourself feel good. I don't know where any of that just came from, but you know what? Maybe it was the steam. I don't really know. With all that being said, I am just so tired and I'm kind of ready for this day to end. So I'm going to close out the vlog right now. If you watched all this and you got this far, thank you very much. And I will see you in the next video.